H2. All right. What are the first and last terms of the following? So if you think about writing a polynomial in standard form, the first term is the term with the highest exponent. And then the last term is the term with no variables. It's just a number, it's a constant. So if I look at these things here, I'm going to multiply all these out. So if I multiply all the terms that's got variables, that will give me the variable with my highest exponent. That will give me my first term, right? And then if I multiply all the constants, that would give me what my constant would be. So that's my first and last term right there. Now there's a whole bunch of middle stuff, but that's not what we're asking for. We're simply asking for the first and last term. So I say 4x squared times 3x times x to the third power. When you're multiplying variables with exponents, remember, just add the exponents. And if there's no exponent, what's the number? Excellent, 1. So I've got 2, 1, 3. So that's x to the 6th. And then I multiply my numbers. No number in front of my variable means what? It's 1. So 1 times 3 times 4. So my first term is 12x to the 6th. Now my last term is just 8 times negative 1 times 5. So my last term is just negative 40. And we call it a day. Does anybody got any questions on that first thing? That's first. That's first and then last. This one, so there's no confusion. 2 minus x to the 4th power means I got 2 minus x times 2 minus x times 2 minus x times 2 minus x. And so I'll multiply all the constants, I'll multiply all of the variables, and call it a day. I get the first and last term. Any question? Okay, no question. Next. All right. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead. You sure? Okay. All right, so next. Consider the polynomial, all right, p of x, I'm not going to say all that, is x minus 3 one of the factors. There's a couple ways we could find out. One, we could just divide that in there, see if it goes in there evenly with no remainder. The other thing we could do is use the remainder theorem. The remainder theorem says that if I plug 3 into this function and I get 0 for that answer, then it's no remainder, so it's a factor. The last thing that I mean, because there's probably more things that I could do, but the 3 that I know we worked on, the other thing you could do is do synthetic division and see if you get a remainder of 0. It'll give you your answer. So consider, is it a factor, and then show. If you say yes or no, you might get a half a point, maybe, because yes or no is a 50-50 shot. Verify this by showing work. So you've got a couple of choices. You could just divide it, just divide it. You could use synthetic division, and I'm probably going to spell this wrong. Synthetic division. Yeah, I totally messed that up. But you know what? Y'all get it. It's good enough. So synthetic. Yes, synthetic. You know what? Yeah, I am so a math teacher. I'm a math teacher, so you'll be all right. You could also do the remainder theorem. Any one of those methods would show that that's a factor or not. Now, I would say I wouldn't divide it. I think divided is doing too much. Now, synthetic division, I might do that. Well, I mean, it is. It's just, yeah, I was going to do them both. So I got 3, let's see, 1, -5, 10, and -12. So bring down to 1. 3 times 1, 3. 5 or -5 plus 3, negative 2. Negative 2 times 3, negative 6. 10 and negative 6, 4. 4 times 3, and negative 12 and 12, 0. So 0 right there tells me that it's a factor. Now, I can do just what Stephanie was saying and do the remainder theorem. The remainder theorem says I go P of 3 and see what I get. So that's going to be 3 to the third power minus 5 times 3 to the second power plus 10 times 3 minus 12. 3 to the third power is 27. So 27. And now I've got 3 to the second power, which is 9. 9 times a negative 5 is negative 45. And then I've got 3 times 10, that's plus 30 minus 12. So I got a bunch of ways I could do this. I can put the negative numbers together, put the positive numbers together, see what I get. I can start subtracting whatever. What's 27 plus 30? That's 57. What is 45 and 12? That's negative 57. I know what you meant. So 57 minus 57 is 0. So either way, either one of these methods verify that yes, it's a factor. And that's what I'm doing. Now, if I did this and I didn't get 0 here, or I did this and I got a number that wasn't 0, then it's not a factor. And that verifies it. So, like my man said, I would do either one of these. I wouldn't divide it, although that's something you could do. Any question? Question? Any question? Okay. All right. This is just simple. Simplify and write the expression in standard form. So I add my like terms, and then after I add my like terms, then I'm ordering the expression highest exponent to lowest, or standard form. So I've got, let's see, x squareds. I've got, come on, you make me look bad. There we go. I've got constants. I've got x to the third power. And then I've got, let's see, what color haven't I used? Purple. Then I've got x's. So I can combine all those terms with except one thing first. What's the first thing I need to do? Distribute the negative. Thank you, sir. So because this is a subtraction problem, this minus all of this, I need to distribute the negative, which is just change the signs. So when I distribute the negative, let's rewrite this thing. The first part is going to stay the same. Minus 8. That went from a positive to a negative. Minus 3x cubed went from a positive to a negative. That is a positive 4, I believe. Yep, okay. So positive 4, that makes that a negative 4x. And then this is negative, so that becomes positive 6x squared. Now I'm going to put my variables together. So my x squareds are going together. My constants are going together. My x cubes are going together. And my x's are going together. So when I do that, I get negative x cubed minus 3x cubed, and then squared. So plus 2x squared plus 6x squared. Then my x's plus 13x minus 4x. And then my constants plus 12 minus 8. Now, honestly, I'm doing extra. I'm doing a lot more than I probably need to just because I want to break it down slowly. So now I'm just going to start combining my like terms. That's negative 4x cubed. This right here, that is positive 8x squared. This right here is positive 9x. And then finally, this is plus 4. And that's my answer. Does anybody have any questions on writing, simplifying and writing something in standard form? Make sure you understand what standard form is, because if you do all this work and don't put it in standard form, you're getting points off. Now, I might only take a half a point off, but it's still going to be points off. All right. I'll say one more time for the cheap seats. Does anybody have any questions on the second page? So simplifying and writing in standard form is the binomial a factor of the polynomial, and first and last terms.